Hello, hello, hello again, beautiful people. Just wanted to give you a quick update again from Israel. I think that this would be a good thing for you to hear again from me, Nubian King, right here in the city. If I sound tired, then you know I am. We just getting back to quiet. Um, Yesterday it was pretty heavy. It's very heavy yesterday, and today is quiet. It's been very quiet. Israel obviously have been successful in thwarting, how they say thwarting, successful in stopping the rockets. But yesterday it was kind of tough on my son. One of my sons was here studying, and he'd like to live with me because it's much quieter than being, in the house with his brothers and sisters. But anyway, he uh he got the jitters yesterday. Uh no, it was the day before that. Today is Thursday. So my son, he got the jitters on actually it was Tuesday. We had an incredible barrage of rockets land around the house to the west side, just outside the building, to the north, just up the street, to the east in front of the building. I mean, they was coming in, and they came in so many. I had to stop and ask myself, man, where's the Iron Dome, the Patriot missile system? I thought, okay, so I know that it's not 100% accurate. Like, it's not going to get every missile. And so what Israel explained is that this thing is like 90%. And what they do, they concentrate on the rockets going into the populated areas. And since Ashkelon here, we're only just about 12 miles north of Gaza. We right up the coast. Gaza is on the coast, right? It's on the east coast to the south of Israel. And you come right up the coast. You have an area that's called Zikin. It's a little, residential area in there. And they just like 2-3 miles from Gaza, just north. And we right next to them, just under 12 miles. So we're real close, right? And this is the major area that they mollywop this city because you, like I said, just right up the coast. They can look at the water, basically, project their um rockets. I remember years ago, Israel stopped announcing where the rocket was hidden because that was giving Hamas actually target, location. Because they said hit in Tel Aviv, hit in Beersheba, Jerusalem. That was letting them know where the rocket was going. So they stopped doing that. But, this city, anyway, my son, he had enough. He said, look, Abba, I need to go down south. I'm like, what happened? What's going on? He said, well, I gotta go. He told me something, right? I said, what? You bugging out on y'all, but you gonna leave me in the fight? He said, but you can deal with this Rambo stuff yourself. I'm going with the women and children. But I understand because, my son, he had gotten, the jitters, where you hear the explosion, you jump. Every time you hear the explosion, you jump. And I saw that on him. And I understood that. And we hit the road yesterday. I mean, he was ready to go. He was in class. He's studying on class online. He's studying class online. So I was like, let's go. Let's get my son out of here. Because this, everybody ain't cut out for this. those loud rockets flowing through the air, banging on the ground, explosion, building shaking, rockets blowing up overhead. Everybody ain't cut out for that. And I'm sitting there on the bed. We was sitting there looking out the window, and one exploded in front of the house, and he jumped. And then he went and stood on the other side of the room doing something on his phone. Another one hit, he jumped. I said, I thought to myself, it's getting next to him. And sure enough, the next day he came, he said, hey, I need to get south. I ain't even hesitate because, everybody ain't cut out for this. We jumped in the car and we went south. Now, I got a friend that stays in the same building on the 7th floor. And he's an information, he's an information guy. He keeps up with everything, all the news, all the latest update. And my son does also. My son, he's an aircraft engineer, Israeli aircraft engineer, F-16, F-15. But he wasn't a combat soldier. My oldest son, the combat soldier. He's special forces. He's a sharpshooter. So he's a grunt kind of guy, Krav Maga. He real physical, big dude, And then I got 2 drivers. They work in logistics. My middle daughter, my youngest son, they drivers. My youngest daughter, she's also in the driver, but she's a secretary. So they not out there on the grunt like Oman's son. Oman's son, he's in a unit that's like Green Beret, Delta, Black Ops, those kind of guys, So we got some children that, they there. We got them out there right now and they doing their thing. But everybody ain't cut out for this. So I got him home and got down south, found out that the city just south of where we went to, they was having a firefight down there. It's a lot going on. You got to keep up with the chatter. You understand? Some of it's true, some of it's not. Can't really take nothing for granted and don't take nothing, lightly because we're at war. So you don't know where they at because there was a lot that came in. There's a lot of guys came in. So that's what is real strange. How in the world does fighters get on the airplane, not the airplane, the air gliders, with the engine, hang gliders. And I mean, it was a sky full of, man. I'm like, steady going over here. I'm like, what the hell? I'm thinking, where in the world did they get all them hang gliders from? First and foremost, where you get all them things from? And that's almost a perfect incursion because you're low. You don't have a big metal signal to that radar can bounce back and detect you there. You're going slow. You're just a couple of 100 feet in the air. So that was just almost perfect incursion to come in on them things. But I'm like, Gaza, where in the world they get all them from? I mean, if you understand Gaza is, just look at Gaza like you look at a prison. How difficult is it to get a cell phone in a prison? How difficult is it to get things into the prison to the prisoners? Very difficult, right? Because you got to be checked. And I ain't been in no prison in the States, but it just ain't that easy. Gaza is an open air prison. Israel control absolutely everything: electricity, water, internet service, food delivery, supplies. I've been down to the border down south where they take all that stuff in the big trucks. I've seen all that. One side is Israel. They park the trucks, driver get out and unstrap everything. Most of it on flatbed, everything from chairs to baby diapers, everything. And when we was down there building that wall, I stayed down there. Shoot, man, we worked out there. I worked out there for 3 years. And so, I was there every 5 days a week. And when I got down to the borders of Egypt, I had did my delivery from the north end of Gaza, Eretz, all the way down to, excuse me, the southern end, Keren Shalom. And so Keren Shalom, I had a break. So I take a nap or chill in the truck. And it was right next to the border of God, excuse me. I'm leaving my phone on because we getting communication and updates, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, so I'm taking a break down there and I'm watching this huge parking lot, like an airport on Israel's side, huge parking lot, like an airport on Gaza's side. And the border right there, the trucks on Israel's side, they'll come in and do the initial paperwork, what have you, and they'll get out and take the tarp off the straps and everything, and then they'll drive real slow because they don't untarped, unstrapped. So you just see pallets of food and stacks of chairs and different things. And so they'll creep real slow across the border and they'll stop right there. Every driver have a tag, then they'll tag and the gate, the arm go up. They drive over real slow. And when they get over there on the Gaza side, they'll stop. They don't have to get out of the truck. They had like 4 forklifts, 2 on each side. They'll run up, take some paddle off, run up, take some paddle off. And they already had everything laid out where they was going to put it. Then you had the yard guys, they had the trucks from Gaza. You'll see them over there. And so they'll take all their inventory off the truck just came out of Israel, drop it, they'll check it, and then they load it right up and take it into Gaza. That's 24/7 because you got like over 2 million people living in that strip of land, and they need everything from chairs to diapers. Now, anytime Israel decides to cut them off, they shut that crossing off. All them trucks on Israel's side sit there, or they just stop. Once the country closes it down, then all shipment stops. The electricity, they control the electricity. The water, they control the water. And this time, Israel shut the electricity, the water, and all food supplies off. That is a prison. So my question is, how the hell did prisoners come up with all these damn hang gliders to slide into Israel like that? You follow what I'm saying? Then the weapons. I remember a time we didn't have to worry about Hamas or nobody, Arabs or anybody Palestinian shooting because it was all about the rockets or they were throwing some rocks. Then I'm like, the last time I said, wait a minute, they got guns now? And I mean, they got guns running around in the streets, just popping Israelis. I'm like, what the hell? What? Oh, woo, they done stepped up their game. And then they come in on hang gliders and come up out the water, bust across the wall that was built, took the doggone military base, caught them sleeping, went up into the Mosham, wiped all them people out, got into Zekim, my Israeli brother lived there. Yeah. I called him, hey, what, because I know where they at. So I called him. He said, no, bro, we done bugged out. We down at the Dead Sea. He took his family and went all the way down to the Dead Sea. And he's my Israeli brother. Yeah, I mean, y'all know how it is. You got good people all over the world. You got bad people. You all done made friends with people from other races and nationalities. That ain't nothing strange. I've been 42 years. I have a lot of Israeli friends. I'm not ashamed to say that. You understand? And I think you all know that. And so this Israeli has been like a brother to me, straight up. The dude that I work with, the guy that owned the company I work with, we not working, so the money flow is stopped. I'm not rich. That's why I put this information, so if you all want to donate, which I so hope you do, you just drop it right there. And the account, the bank name is Citibank NA. The bank address is 399 Park Avenue, New York, 122. ABA routing number is 021000089. The account number is 405-3953. The account name is Charles Schwab. And for further credit, 9740-7288. You can just drop money right in there. You can wire it into from your bank account or what have you, because I done ran out of my funds buying everything to get ready for this. Again, I wonder what they blowing at. What's that? Oh, somebody was blowing their horn. Again, in 42 years of me being in Israel, and out of all of the wars and everything we've been through, I've never bought any canned goods. Never ever. I never went out and bought water. Never. No candles or nothing. Because it was just, you know, being a spiritual individual, you have some skill, you have some gifts, you have some gifts, almost like superpower. Some things you just know it's gonna be all right, you know. So I've never been motivated to go do none of that. I've seen people run out and get toilet paper. Oh man, they're gonna be you gotta get some toilet paper. And everybody was talking about toilet paper. And I'm like, what's this with the toilet paper? Okay, you go into a crisis situation. Why is everybody worried about buying toilet paper? To this day, I can't figure it out. Why? It's like, okay, so if you're going to go into a situation where the electricity is going to get cut off, your water's cut off, you know what I'm saying? You don't have any refrigeration. Food in the refrigerator a few days going to spoil. You ain't got no electricity for a week. No cold water. And like me, my condo is totally electric, so my cooking is electric. So that means I'm done. But this time, believe it or not, I bought a few canned goods. I mean, so on this side of the change that we went through last year on the creation, I'm moving different. I got the canned goods, I got the dry good, I got the big bag of nuts, cause you want to eat. Like, you don't want to be hungry. But in a crisis situation, you understand you can't pick the phone up and order no food. It's going to show up. What you got is what you got right here. So, my objective was looking at, okay, is the electricity to go out? There ain't going to be no refrigeration, nothing like that. And, the electricity to go out there, and the big pumps that pump the water to the location, you're not going to be able to get that water out of the faucet anymore. And I use all filter water. So I went and bought a bunch of water. Then I got a gas cooker. Went to the camping store over there, picked up a gas cooker and 4 canisters, because we got Hezbollah in the north. They done told the north from Haifa North to shelter in. I got a family up there. I called him last night to check on him. And he said, they all right. I can tell he's tired because they getting battered up there. They flying in the drones. And as I was coming back from the south, I heard that Hezbollah sent flew in a jet. See, Hamas from the south out of Gaza, they ain't got so much, because they operating out of Gaza. Whatever they get, however they get it, it ain't gonna be as much as Hezbollah functioning in Lebanon, bagged by, the Arab nation, heavily funded. They are strong. Hezbollah can bring the pain. Israel get the jigging. They gonna have to get busy with them, in which they can handle it. They can hold it down. All right. Now here you got America done sent the aircraft carrier, whole carrier group in. We got major bombers in Tel Aviv. So right now, America is stacking up a lot of heavy artillery over here, along with what Israel already got. So could they light it up? Absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt. So I don't want to be caught, with my pants down. Because, see, this thing here, with Hamas coming up here doing all this damage, you got to sit back and say, wait a minute. How is it that we have the Mossad, we got the Sheen Bait, you know what I'm saying? We got all these sophisticated Israeli intelligence assets. And you mean to tell me you can detect some suckers flying over on a damn hang glider and walk across the wall that we spent 3-4 years building? You didn't see all that? And then you have this thing they call God's eye. From the satellite, they can see stuff. I remember a few years ago, these three dudes just walked up out of the water. It wasn't no war. It wasn't nobody doing nothing. Everybody business, life as usual. And three cats walked up out of the water heading into Israel. Israel lit their butts up on the beach. Pow, pow, pow. All from where, I don't know. They just happened to show it on the news. That's how we found out about it. And I'm like, Shazam, they didn't get too far. But Israel knew exactly who they were, where they was at within a few seconds, and sent a missile in there and lit their butts up on the beach. Well, nobody even paying attention, and everybody was awake. So I'm like, how is it that these guys slide in here on hang gliders? And one of the families said, man, it was about an hour before the military showed up. You see, what you have to understand with me, being that I'm living here, and I know the Israeli military very well, I have great confidence in their capabilities. I know about the Sheen Bait, the Mossad, and all those different Israeli, intelligence. Look, Israel give America intelligence. Let me share something with you all about a company named NSO. These two Israeli boys created this software that allows them to go in your cell phone. Listen, all the other systems, they needed the cell phone to get in there, look around, whatever. They could go in there, bypass your security, whatever, your little password, and get in your phone, but they needed a phone in the hand. These two boys in NSO created a software that allows them to go in your phone without even having the phone. They created this software that all they need is your phone number anywhere in the world, anywhere on planet Earth, wherever your cell phone at, dial the number, kaboom, they can see your text messages, your WhatsApp, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Telegram, every single thing. It's just like them having the phone in their hand. That's NSO. That's Israel technology. When that was discovered, these boys was approached by many nations in an effort to buy the company, to buy them. I ain't talking about 100 million to 500. These nations were throwing billions of dollars at them boys. Young boys, Israelis, done set up, figured some stuff out, and now have their hand on one of the world's most awesome surveillance technology right out of Israel. So what did they do? They turned down all them offers because they knew what they had. They had the goose to lay the golden egg. They give you eggs, so why get rid of the goose? They didn't. So they turned around and go on a 30-day vacation. They took the whole company, all the company employee wives, husbands, children, family, everybody, hired a big-time band and went on a 30-day vacation. That's what they did. They're young, very rich, so they can do stuff like that. They come back, and the nations are still trying to get them to let them, and then, America got involved. Here come America, here come the propaganda. Oh, that's what they used to get Shokin. That's what they did. And it's all kind of propaganda and drama. See, America gonna swoop in and they gonna muck it all up. They gonna create total chaos and confusion because that's where they can benefit from it, right? So in the end, I'm like, where they at? The guy disappeared. I haven't heard anything from them boys, nothing. You see, because I said them two young boys with that type of technology, they not selling it. And then, when America come up into it, They want to dominate and control everything by any means necessary. So that means if some people got to go down and look up, they'll do that too. And them boys is good. I remember a while back you had two terrorists over there, male and female in America. They did something, and then the FBI wanted to get in their cell phone. They had the iPhone. Maybe you remember this story. They had the iPhone. They went to Apple. Apple said, "No, we don't have the software that will allow us to get around their password and everything." And iPhone had them, password, and you can make some good ones. And so what Apple told the FBI is that no, we never wrote the software because of the fact that if we write it, it could be stolen. And that means whoever steal it could wind up with a way to get into all these people iPhones. And so they couldn't get any help out of America. Israel got word of it. One of their people called. So you got a problem. Heard you got a problem. So I saw this interview, this document, the dude came over here to Israel with the cell phone. No, excuse me. The reporter came here. I'm sorry. Not with that cell phone that the FBI was trying to get in. So the guy came over to Israel and the reporter, and he met one of the engineers that work in the company, and they sat outside in front of the building. And he talked with him. He said, now, I'm understood. I'm to understand that you all can get into the iPhone without the code. He said, yeah. And so the guy from NSO was sitting outside in front of the building, right there with the interviewer. And the boy, he said, yeah, that's easy. He said, you mean to tell me that the United States FBI couldn't crack into this iPhone, but you can? And this little Israeli boy, he said, yeah, that's no big deal. And he said, do you have an iPhone? He said, yeah, I got an iPhone. He said, give it to me. He said, but first, make sure it's locked. Make sure you got your code and it's locked and I can't get it. And so the interviewer pulled the phone out. He looked. He said, okay, it's locked. And he handed it to the boy. The boy sat there with his leg crossed and he leaned forward on his leg and he had the phone in one hand. He hit, you can see him punching the screen. In a few seconds, he handed it back to the guy. He said, who is this picture of? The interviewer like, what? He said, how did you do that? He said, it's simple. So you mean to tell me with the level of technological expertise this country has, they can detect these guys coming across the border where I spent 3 years of my life helping them guys build by delivering diesel fuel. I saw them soldiers out there 24/7. When I show up in the morning, they was there. When I leave in the afternoon, they there. They always there. That big 60 caliber cannon sitting up on the hill, the engineer that rode with me said when he was in the military, he used to calibrate the thing. So I know it's out there, right? And it's like, it boggles me, man. It bothers me to think that these boys snuck up on Israel like that. I can't accept that. I'm not accepting it. I am not accepting that Hamas was able to sneak into Israel without Israel knowing they were coming and got this done. When I understand how politicians are, and when you got a bandit that's got 3 criminal cases over his head that the Supreme Court said they got enough evidence to take him to trial, and he know he's guilty, and they know it, we know it, everybody know it, and you have, you got these type of evil people, all of a sudden, this happened. I don't know if y'all saw the movie called Wag the Dog years ago. This man, y'all got to watch that movie. The president was under a scandal for sexual misconduct or something, and the election was coming up. And it's just these bandits, they just another level of psycho. You get in position, you got your 4 years, 5 years, 7 years, whatever, and you don't want to leave. You get voted out and you don't want to leave. You understand? And you 70-something millions of dollars, and you done got voted out, but you don't want to leave. That's crazy. Okay, and so the movie one that went on, it's called Wag the Dog. You need to watch it. It's an old movie. It's been out. I watched it on the free site there. It's about a president that was coming up on the election and he got caught up in a scandal, sexual misconduct or what have you. And then, when that break out, it's like, woo, because you trying to get reelected and you's a bandit and you want to get back, you want to stay in office, you want to stay in power. It's just something with these old white dudes in power, man. They just make them crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, the way I think, I got $150 million, $200 million in my pocket. I've been the prime minister for 4-5 years under all that pressure. I'm 70. I'm going to chill with this $100 and some million. No, it's the power. It's like Nancy Pelosi in America. How old is she? How rich is she and her husband? I got the website where you go and you can watch the trades of all of these people. This old woman worth over $150 million. Yeah, with her sharp dressing self, dressing real nice, and her husband got whacked over there. Why you people just don't go talking about, she talking about trying to get back. But anyway, here you got Netanyahu, 3 criminal cases, breach of trust, right? Bribery, and the other was what? Misuse of political power. Woo. And so now everybody looking at this. Now all of a sudden this here jumped off with Hamas. And then you got Hezbollah in the north. And you know how they hate Israel. So Israel don't have to do nothing but sneeze and all of them at them. If they see they got a shot. And so what beautiful crisis for to help Netanyahu to stay out of prison than a war. And he was quick to declare war. Listen, the government, we ain't had a solid government here in years. Ever since Netanyahu lost that first one a few years ago, the government ain't been straight since. He always have been there mucking up stuff, as opposed to just going, because as a regular citizen, he don't have no juice to manipulate nothing to stay out of prison. And that's what he is hell-bent on. I don't care what nobody say. You got to understand these old white dudes that don't give a crap. This man trying to stay out of prison. Now, why all of a sudden you want to change the mode of operation here in Israel, where you want to take the power out of the Supreme Court? Where that come from? We ain't had no problem with, why all of a sudden you want to take the power from the Supreme Court? Because in Israel, Israel don't have a constitution. They don't run like America, Senate and Democrats, Republican, all that. They have a group of ministers that run all the different departments. Then they have one minister over all the ministers, calling him the prime minister, right? Then you have the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court there to make sure the ministers don't get out of hand. And whatever the Supreme Court say, that's it. It's like, don't nobody supersede the Supreme Court. Even if the prime minister wanted to do something, if the Supreme Court say no, it's no. That's it. It's final. And so Netanyahu knew that with that being in position like that, it makes him hard to really, maneuver. So next thing you know, they wanted to change all of that. They wanted to simply take the power out of the Supreme Court. That's why all these people out here protesting, because then you look around, the guys he want to be in the ministry, everybody know them. Everybody know they crooked. And this is why the people was out protesting. And so this old cat, he's a chess player, the old dude, been around a long time. And now we sitting over here, we got Hamas in the south, they working with, you got Hezbollah in the north, and then you got these other nations talking about, if Israel get funky, we coming. And then what did he do? Like in 2 days, 3 days, he was standing for the nation declaring war. But how can you do that? You ain't got no solid government. Oh no, last night, early this morning, they sit up and said, you know what? Drop all this here individualism and, this wacky stuff we got going on between ourselves. And let's put together a unity government right quick in order to fight Hamas. So they all agreed on it. Okay, we're going to get things together so we can fight Hamas. Soon as they got the unity government together early that morning, they turned around and activated Article 40A. Article 40A allows them, the government, the military, to make unilateral decisions in order to defend the country from any threat of peace or any act of aggression toward the country. Any threat of peace and any act of aggression is a broad scope, all the way over into Iran. Whoa, Nubian King, you dropping fire all the way over into Iran. And Iran has been what? They've been talking, it's a threat. We're not going to let them. Kaboom. Now, all of a sudden, America's here. This thing ain't been gone but 5 days. I mean, I ain't been hearing no rockets today since last night. So Israel have always been able to handle Hamas. They've already been, you know what I'm saying? So why is it that America got one aircraft carrier already sitting here in Israel and the whole carrier group from the United States of America, aerial bomber, the bomber that they sent over here, it wasn't just the B-52 bomber. It was this particular bomber that's supposed to be the most awesome bomber in the world. It's sitting right up there in the hangar in Tel Aviv, and another aircraft carrier, is on the way. Yeah, they sending another aircraft carrier. Now they telling the people to assist Israel in the war against Hamas. Oh man, these guys! Woo! You know, I had to really, I had to stay cool, man. I do, because this is such bullshit. You know what I'm saying? There's never been a time that Israel needed help dealing with Hamas. Ain't never been a time. I've been in 42 years watching it. I ain't never bought no provision. I ain't never bought no candles, no canned goods, nothing. When they were dropping them rockets, I just chilled out. But this time, I got supplies. Because this is different. Them boys ain't coming over here for no daggone Hamas. I mean, I'm sitting here right now. I can listen to Israel, the big bombs they dropping down there now. I'm hearing them. Boo, 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 boo. That's it for Hamas. They fire a rocket up out of Israel. They know exactly where it came from. Poo, 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 poo. Ain't nothing there where it came from. So why America got to send 2 aircraft carriers? And they tell the people to assist Israel in fighting Hamas. In a few more hours, ain't gonna be no Gaza. Cause the girl in the Knesset said we need to drop the doomsday bomb. I mean, they have gotten the whole world so pro-Israel that they're about to watch Israel wipe a whole 2 million people off the face of the planet, and ain't nobody gonna have no problem with it, except the people that's pro-Palestine. They gonna raise up, and then the government gonna say, "Hey, we control the military, the National Guard, the police. So what? Let them holler. They'll fizzle out after a while, get home, get thirsty, go home and eat, and that'll be the end of the protest." This is how these guys think. They getting the whole world set up to watch them level Gaza. Because this is what they're saying over here. The only way they can stop it is they got to smash them. And this woman the other day said, we need to use the doomsday bomb. Boo-ba. Hold up, boo-boo. Shit, I'm just right up the street. Let me know before you drop it so we can get the hell on. You know, you talking about the doomsday bomb. Biatch. Is you crazy? Woo-wee. So this is crazy, man. This is a mess. It's more to it than just some guys came over here to jump on Israel. It's way more to it than that. You know, and then you have to consider when you look at it, where in the world they get all them paragliders from? They just up there coming in like flies. It's everywhere. Sky full of them. Where did they get them from? Gaza? Open air prison? It's controlled by Israel, everything. How you get that into the Gaza? Then how you get so many of them in the air and you flying right over the wall, right over the border. All right. Then you get in country. But listen now, I'm 12 miles. I told you that. I'm 12 miles north of Gaza. They was right outside of my house shooting, riding around on the back of the white truck. I'm like, where the hell they get the trucks from? You see what I'm saying, people? You got to stop being emotional suckers and being in your emotional and think if these boys came out of Gaza and they in my city, Ascalon, shooting and having a firefight. When I was going north the other day to get my daughter, because it was like Sunday, she was stuck in Tel Aviv. They went up to celebrate a birthday with a friend of hers. They went up in on Friday, right? So this guy jumped off the next day, Saturday morning. They was all chilled and everything. And we checking up on the family, and she up there and no transportation. They raining down heavy rock. I said, I'm going to get my baby. So I mount up and I went up to do a mission, and I drove just north, and I went through the area where no more than 3 minutes behind me, they broke out into a heavy firefight, the military and Hamas, right up the street from my house. You know what I'm saying? Now, how in the world they get up there? I mean, I'm 12 miles north of Gaza. These guys come in on paragliders. Next thing you know, they're in my neighborhood shooting. I just drove past that 3 minutes behind me. There they are. And so, because of the internet, and I got children in the military, I got, so much information flying around. I'm looking at the doggone firefight behind me. And I'm saying, where in the world they come over, where they get the transportation from? Stay wrote. They ain't gonna run no 12 miles up here and Ascalon start shooting. You think they're gonna run 12 miles down the road and ain't nobody gonna notice who they are? All of us know who they are. Can tell who they are. They wear the headband. You can look at them and say, oh, well, yeah. And then Stay Road down the street several miles. But they would ride around on trucks. White pickup trucks. How they get them? How they get the hand gliders? Where did the weaponry come from? See, they being supported. They being supported. So how did they get in the country? And I'm sitting here and the Apache helicopters didn't show up in the sky for hours later. So they did all this damage. 100 people dead in Zikim. That's where my friend live at. But they bugged out early and went down to the sea. So how is it, you know what I'm saying, that they was able to do all this damage for that long, and you got people in their homes videoing from their houses, Hamas out in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And then in 2 days, 3 days, the prime minister saying we are at a state of war. This is not a drill. This is war. Israel is now at war with Hamas. This is what he's saying. So once he stated that, then that means what? Everything politically is just stopped. It's all focused on dealing with the war. And so when you got a dude that's trying to stay out of prison, as long as he's not in prison, he okay. And so his old butt is slick as devil as he is, and all the cronies around him, man, they could work all kind of drama. I told you about that movie Wag the Dog, right? So what they did, the president called in this guy called the Fixer, and he went to a Hollywood producer he know, and had the Hollywood producer to create a fake war that America went in with Albania. All the people sitting around, shopping and living and working and doing whatever, and all of a sudden, then they hear on the news, America's at war with Albania, and then they got the girl, with the little dog, and she running all through, made up everything in Hollywood. Every single aspect was a lie. Then the CIA caught up with him, and so when the CIA caught up with him, they shut him down. But they was like till 2, 3, 4 days from the election, and the people started talking about the president and the sexual misconduct that he had. And so these guys, they not going to be defeated, right? So they sitting there thinking, no. And they came up with the idea to create this war hero that was left behind after they pulled after the war, and the president got to go save him. That's how they pulled it off. And it all was a lie. None of it was true. Made up in Hollywood. And they love telling the lie. But over here, you got a prime minister that he's in a situation where he's trying to stay out of prison. And now all of a sudden, that same guy is standing up, telling the world Israel at war. Man, man, oh man. Woo-wee! Now I done went through all my funds preparing, and that's why I put this information for those that, got those good hearts that would love to assist in some way. You can drop whatever you like in that account. That's my personal account that I have depleted now in the preparation for this war and getting supplies. So any donations, we greatly appreciate it. Yes, sir, Rebob. Yes, sir, Rebob. Anything you want to drop in that account, feel free. And I really, really appreciate it. Just want to let you know we still here. It's quiet. And I'm hearing major explosion down there in Gaza. We tired. We tired. We tired of the evil world. We tired of all this evil that these old men, is engaged in. Hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. Not one penny for peace. They get excited talking about their weaponry. They get excited talking about killing people. They get excited at the sounds of the explosion, the bomb, long as it ain't them. But when you talk about peace, they look, what? Man, what a world. What a world. I just want to chop it up with y'all. I took my son down south, so I'm here by myself. I'm hunkered down. I'm locked, cocked, ready to rock. I'm not leaving my children. I don't feel like I need to leave out of Ashkelon. I just don't, you know. Um, and when I was down south, I stopped at a little restaurant, got me some food, and the people, they know I live in Ashkelon. And they said, when they first started, they said, I hear you. I get out from up there too. I said, no, I just came to bring my son back. They stopped and do what? I said, I'm going back to Ashkelon. What? Dude, you ain't scared up there? I'm like, scared of what? Duh, rockets, bombs. No, man. Everybody ain't built like this, I tell you. Everybody ain't built like this. But you know what? No matter what they say, it's gonna be all right. That's the whole thing. I know some people get overwhelmed and they get nervous and they see what these heathen are doing, they see what they're saying, and they always got something bad to say. If you look at it, that heathen don't never have nothing good to say about nothing and nobody. Not always something bad. Drama, drama, drama. Something to keep you afraid, something to keep you stressed, something to keep you tense, something to keep you nervous. Always something to mess up your, ability to think and think and think. And that's his objective. That's his objective. But I'm happy to announce that everything has changed. The change took place last year, the summer of 22. This entire creation went through an incredible metaphysical, spiritual, energetic shift. The shifting from one state of being and operating to another whole state of being and operating. And so now we see these things, and these things look normal, but they are very, very abnormal according to the prior basic fundamental mode of operating. Okay? So it may look like, ooh, Israel at war with Hamas. Ooh, you better run and hide. I mean, if I tell you not true, you would just say, man, the Nubian king done lost his mind. He done went crazy. or they're talking about they're not at war. No, I'm not saying they're not at war, but I'm not worried. Like, woohoo, you know, because I know it's gonna be all right. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole issue I'm talking about. It's gonna be all right. Well, you have some people here on the planet that they do have another spiritual energy, spiritual power about them. And you just may very well be listening to one right now. If I say it's gonna be all right, it's gonna be all right. You know. But at the same time, I'm not naive or stupid. I did go get some supplies because if the electricity go out, it's gonna be a certain kind of way. Yeah, I did go get some supplies, and like that. And so this is why I put the account information up. So you want to drop some funds in there for me? It's going to be greatly appreciated and much needed, much needed at the same time. Anyway, beautiful people, I'm just glad you want to take time out to listen up. I'm thankful for you. I love you. I can't say that enough. Don't you worry. Don't worry. Don't let these people uh, get under your skin because they'll do it and won't even give a crap. This has been the Nubian King broadcasting from the city of Ashkelon in the country of Israel, Northeast Africa. And I said these words with you. I shared these because I love you. How much do I love you? Wave down in the basement of my heart, all the way up to the attic of my mind. How long? But how long do I love you? Let me see. I love you 24/7. That means every day, nonstop. And that's why I said it, because I love you. It's just like that. Thank you for listening.